Nothing could be worse than the impact your actions have had on my life and the life of my family.
Whatever gave the offender the right to take Tarek's life away from me forever?
Case 1. Benton Lewis Byer, a resident of Richmond, Minnesota, had a history marked by troubling behavior, but his actions took a notably darker turn in 2021. Byer's life before the crime was largely under the radar, but underlying issues came to light during his subsequent trial and media coverage. Between May and July 2021, Benton Byer embarked on a campaign of harassment and terror against the Robinson family, an interracial family living in Cold Spring.
I'm still in shock. I can't believe this. Every day I just come out here and think it's a bad dream.
How do I supposed to feel safe? I mean, my wife, my children don't want to stay here, and I understand.
The family comprised a white mother, a black father, and their biracial children. The incidents began after Byer's ex-girlfriend left him for another man who was black. Byer's racist animosity was fueled by this personal grievance. Byer's actions included stalking the family, violating restraining orders, and causing significant property damage. One of the most horrifying acts involved Byer stealing an SUV, placing a rock on the accelerator, and launching the vehicle into the Robinson family's home. This incident was captured on the family's security camera, and inside the vehicle, a teddy bear was found hanging from a noose, a chilling symbol of his intent to intimidate and terrorize the family. Benton Byer was arrested and faced multiple charges including stalking, first-degree criminal damage to property, theft of a motor vehicle, and second-degree assault with a dangerous weapon. The trial revealed the extent of his racially motivated harassment, with the jury finding him guilty on all counts. Byer's actions were not only illegal, but also deeply rooted in racial bias, as confirmed by the court. In court, the emotional Mrs. Robinson could not help but recount how Benton's actions had damaged her home.
Nothing could be worse than the impact your actions have had on my life and the life of my family. You did not destroy a home. You destroyed a family. Every day I'm faced with the same struggle. The house I once called home now resembles the shell of a life that once was, and a family that's forever changed. The place we once called home will be emptied of its contents and sold.
In September 2022, Byer was convicted of his crimes. On November 18, 2022, he was sentenced for his racist acts against the Robinson family. The sentencing brought some relief to the victims who had endured months of fear and anxiety due to Byer's relentless harassment. Andrea Robinson, the mother, expressed hope that Byer would use his time in prison to reflect on his actions and address his underlying issues. Case 2. Brenton Tarrant was born in Australia and grew up in Grafton, New South Wales. Known to have a troubled background, Tarrant's extremist views and ideologies took root over time, resulting in an act of unspeakable violence. In contrast, the victims of his crime were peaceful members of the Muslim community in Christchurch, New Zealand, who were gathered for their Friday prayers on that faithful day. On March 15, 2019, Brenton Tarrant carried out a premeditated attack on 2 mosques in Christchurch. Armed with multiple firearms, he live-streamed his attack on social media. His first target was the Al-Noor Mosque, where he brutally murdered 44 people. He then drove to the Linwood Islamic Center, killing an additional 7 people. A total of 51 people lost their lives, and dozens were injured in this act of terror motivated by white supremacist beliefs. The investigation into Tarrant's actions revealed disturbing details about his radicalization and preparation for the attack. Authorities found a manifesto he had published online, outlining his hateful ideology and his intentions. During the trial, Tarrant initially pleaded not guilty, but later changed his plea to guilty on all charges.
Yes, Mr. Peters. Please, Your Honour, Peters. I'm appearing as duty lawyer. There will be no applications made, sir, and for the sake of clarity, there will be no application for bail, no application for the suppression of the defendant's name.
Mr. Tarrant, you are remanded without plea. Next appearance will be in the Christchurch High Court on 5 April 2019 at 9:15 a.m. I've noted that you're not making an application to be admitted.
I appear for the police, as signalled earlier, sir, seeking an order for interim suppression of the name.
The prosecution presented a comprehensive case detailing the meticulous planning and execution of the attack. In August 2020, Tarrant was sentenced to life imprisonment without the possibility of parole, the harshest sentence available under New Zealand law.
The seriousness of the offending and the sanctity of life may leave little room for other than a denunciatory sentence that marks society's condemnation of the crime. This clearly is such a case. On each of the 51 charges of murder, charges 1 to 51, you were sentenced to life imprisonment. I order that you serve the sentences without parole. On each of the 40 charges of attempted murder, charges 52 to 91, you were sentenced to concurrent terms of 12 years in prison. On the charge of committing a terrorist act, charge 92, you were sentenced to life imprisonment.
The judge condemned Tarrant's actions as inhumane and barbaric. Tarrant showed little emotion during the sentencing, but his courtroom behavior and statements indicated a lack of genuine remorse. The survivors and families of the victims delivered powerful impact statements expressing their grief and resilience.
To this day, I have not received an apology, nor have I seen any shred of remorse for his despicable actions.
Whatever gave the offender the right to take Tarek's life away from me forever, this monster had no right to take my son from me. I have a life sentence now and will forever feel my loss.
Case 3. Travis McMichael, Gregory McMichael, and William Bryan were residents of Glynn County, Georgia. Gregory McMichael, a former police officer and investigator, lived with his son Travis. William Bryan was their neighbor. Ahmad Arbery, a 25-year-old black man, was an athletic young man who loved to run and often jogged around his neighborhood. On February 23, 2020, his life was tragically cut short. On that day, Ahmad Arbery was jogging through the Satilla Shores neighborhood where he was pursued by the McMichaels and Bryan. Believing Arbery matched the description of a suspect in recent break-ins, they decided to confront him. Travis and Gregory armed themselves and followed Arbery in their truck, while Bryan joined the chase in his vehicle, recording the pursuit on his phone. The encounter ended with Travis McMichael shooting Arbery 3 times, resulting in his death. The initial investigation was slow and controversial. The McMichaels claimed they acted in self-defense and no arrests were made for several months.
We see him come around the corner. He's going down here. We pull up beside him. Hey, stop, we want to talk to you. And he just keeps on running. So the guy, he's looking dead at us, he's like from me to you. And he turns and he runs. Travis gets out with the shotgun and runs up there. And, I said, Travis, don't shoot, don't do anything.
We caught him the other day and Dad was outside and saw him running by, and the neighbors pointing and everything. So
saw who running by?
Him.
Okay.
So we run out to stop him to talk to him.
Mm-hmm.
He took off running. He came over here. Stopped. He come out of the truck running at us. I told him stop till he hit me. I had nothing to do. There's nothing else I can do.
The case gained widespread attention after Bryan's video of the shooting was leaked online in May 2020, sparking outrage and calls for justice. Following public outcry, the Georgia Bureau of Investigation took over the case, leading to the arrest of Travis and Gregory McMichael, and later, William Bryan.
He makes admissions to seeing Mr. Arbery running down the roadway. His statement to the effect is he didn't know Mr. Arbery had stolen anything or not, but he had a gut feeling that Mr. Arbery may have been responsible for thefts that were in the neighborhood.
The 3 men were charged with malice murder, felony murder, aggravated assault, false imprisonment, and criminal attempt to commit false imprisonment. The trial, held in November 2021, drew significant media attention.
Wasn't it your intention to go around the block and cut him off and find him over on the other side?
To head him off and to see where he's located. That was my intention, yes, ma'am.
All right. But you could have stopped right there and not done anything, right?
Yes, but then immediately after is when I saw his interaction with the black truck and realized that there is something to my suspicions here, and I would like to see where he is at when the cops come, which I assume that the police were on the way, that I would be able to tell them where he's at if they haven't located him at that point.
The prosecution presented compelling evidence, including Bryan's video and testimony from witnesses, highlighting the racial motivations and the fact that Arbery was unarmed and posed no threat.
Other people can't go up and stop us and hold us and detain us, okay? They have to actually have seen us commit that crime in order to effectuate a citizen's arrest. I was thinking, Mr. Arbery may have run by. Maybe Matt had seen him. Maybe He has broken in. Maybe Larry English is over at 220. I don't know. Maybe Ahmaud Arbery was caught. Maybe Ahmaud from the...
In January 2022, the jury found Travis McMichael, Gregory McMichael, and William Bryan guilty on all counts. Travis McMichael received a life sentence without the possibility of parole, while Gregory McMichael and William Bryan also received life sentences, with Bryan being eligible for parole after 30 years.
Count 1, malice murder. Defendant was found not guilty. Count 2, felony murder. Life without the possibility of parole. Court sentences Mr. Bryan to life with the possibility of parole on count 3.
Thank you for watching today's video. If you found this content informative and thought-provoking, please give it a thumbs up and share it with others. We would love to hear your thoughts and reflections in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more in-depth coverage of more important cases and stories that matter.